On today's episode, we have Mrs. MAVI ISIBOR. This is a name that holds so much weight when you talk about human development. Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
First things first, you look beautiful, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, ma'am. So we're just going to start by you telling us a little about yourself. Tell us about growing up. It's actually a very interesting topic because a lot of entrepreneurs out there are very curious. When they see successful entrepreneurs. So can you just tell us a little about yourself and growing up?
I don't want anyone to be fooled that I had everything going for me. I grew up here in Lagos, but I grew up in the rough part of Lagos. My parents were not wealthy at all. They were not. We were the 010 type of family,
Wow.
So when you see what you're seeing today, it is by sheer dint of hard work. It is not because somebody gave me something on a platter of gold.
Yeah. Well, that's actually very great because a lot of people might just think that you had everything, prepared for you to be able to succeed. But it's quite shocking that, for an amazing woman who has been through it all. I know Fadeyi, to be precise. I know Fadeyi is a very rough place that's on the mainland. You know how crazy it can be and all that. But then, this is you today. You've done so much. You've been able to achieve a whole lot. So what brought you to this career path?
Although we were really poor, I don't want to use poor, but that's we were poorer than poor. Yeah. Because we were so poor that my mother will start cooking beans around 12.
Wow.
So that we can eat it around 3.
For lunch?
Yes, so by the time you eat it for lunch, by 3 o'clock, it covers breakfast and it covers dinner until tomorrow morning. But despite that, my mother was a teacher and my father was an accountant, but they believed in the old way of bringing up children and the old way of doing things. Yeah. So my mother was very prim and proper. She would say, sit well, put your feet together, stuck in your tummy, don't drag your feet on the floor, lift your chin up, square your shoulders, don't slump, don't slouch, oh my goodness, so many don'ts. But that was how we grew up. And my father was very big on speaking the right the Queen's English and pronouncing your words correctly and using the right diction. So we were 11 of us in that 2-room, one the bedroom and the sitting room, but we were still brought up that way, and so for me there was no other way of life. And so and I thought that was what happened in every other house, every other home. But when I got into school, especially when I started working after my youth service, I realized that many children did not have that type of upbringing.
I'm sure it must have been quite shocking.
Exactly. So that was something that started me off. I didn't have the courage, to launch out on my own. I worked for many years. Worked in the university. In Bayero University, I worked in a bank, and all of that, and I was doing a lot, privately and all of that. I didn't have the courage until 2000.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So what actually happened?
Yes, in 1998 or thereabouts, I worked with an organization to do a diagnostics, for my bank, and working with that organization it used to be a popular organization, though it has changed its name now, a consultancy. Working with that organization, that's being seconded from my bank, I realized that there was so much that could be done, and I worked with some people who thought my potentials were being wasted in the bank, and they wanted me to launch out. But my family, I have 6 children, and it was, Nigeria is not a place where only one person can shoulder the whole thing. So that was a major deterrent. But in 2000, I had the go ahead, the green light from my family. I was eating up inside with wanting to just do something. Then there was something else that really, once the bug beat me, I just could not stop. It was like something was wrong with my life.
More like an awakening.
Exactly. I hit 40.
Okay.
And the year I turned 40, I realized that something was just not right. I was earning good money. I was married, mother, everything, and everyone thought, okay, you have the good life. But I knew that something was
like
missing.
Vacuums that needed to be filled.
Exactly. And so my 40th birthday was the saddest day of my life.
Oh wow.
My husband did everything to make me happy and to get me, but I just couldn't. Then one day, I was driving. We were living on the mainland then. I was driving to the island to work. And UBA building was just going up. And I looked up at this building and said to myself, this is one human being with one head, the same brain, because whether you like it or not, the brain a man has is the same brain a woman has. There's no difference. No, it's just the gender that is different, the body, but in here is the same brain. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is what is missing in my life, legacy. Legacy was missing, and that
was the awakening.
Immediately, though people had been saying, oh, move, but that was the push, that was the drive, and I knew that my days were numbered in the bank.
So you had to take that walk.
Exactly.
Which is a very good one, because right now I'm sure there are a whole lot of people who are thankful to what you've been able to establish. I walked into your office today and I was quite impressed at the acceptance, the way we're received. You would know that this is a place where they pay so much attention to human behavior, how you react and how you respond to people with communications and all that stuff. So without even being told, if I was just a stranger who didn't even know anything about your brand or your business, and I walk into this place, I'm very sure that I would have something good to say, because it's quite unusual. We have a lot of organizations whereby they have poor customer relationship, about that they have poor customer service, and I think it actually starts with the individuals. Okay, so I'm talking about the business itself. So how has it been going so far?
It's been interesting, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
Poise is the primus inter pares of that's first amongst equal in this industry. We pioneered the industry, the soft skills industry in Nigeria. We pioneered it in 2000, and we set the pace. We identified the gap. We identified the market. We curated the curriculum. We opened up a new vista of business, a new dimension of business, of consulting that was never there. And so we beat the path and we created a highway. And that's what Poise has been doing. In this business, we have stayed ahead of the pack by sheer dint of hard work and innovation, because it's an easy entry business, and everyone, you don't need capital. All you just need is a suitcase or a briefcase and whatever it is you're coming out with. You don't even need to go anywhere to learn anything. So you have a lot of people coming onto the into the arena and dishing out wrong teachings, wrong ideas, but I can boast that a lot of the people, the practitioners out there today are alumni of Poise.
Oh wow, that's
and so for us, that is something, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We have opened the industry, and there are a lot of players right now.
Yeah.
We have competitors who also emanated from here, but we believe that we are champions in the place
Very
where
true.
you have the eagle does not fly at the level where the raven and the other birds fly.
Yes.
The eagle, and at that level, everyone playing in that level is a champion.
Yeah,
You know, so that's where we are playing, and everyone else who can rise to that level, you're welcome.
Yeah.
There's no traffic in the air.
Very true. Very true. Well done, ma'am. So I'm going to ask you, what about let's talk about challenges. I know that running a business in a country like Nigeria is a whole lot. I mean, we looked at your building. It's massive. We can see the number of staff that you have, and you're doing so much, in keeping your business afloat. So this is not just a brand, that just has an online presence. You have a physical office. You have people who depend on you. I'm using the word depend on you because you need to pay salaries for these people to feed. Yeah. So I'm going to ask, how challenging has it been so far?
I think the worst years, and that's shifted our paradigm, because every business needed to shift at that time was during the lockdown years, and that changed everything. But before then, starting was the major issue we had was buying, so we have cleared that part of it. Everyone now realizes that reputation management, personality development, etiquette, ethics, those are all elocution, public speaking, the way you speak, the way you comport yourself. Those are things that launch you into the global network. But the lockdown made us realize that there are different dimensions. So it may look like as if many organizations died, but many organizations also crested the storm.
Very true.
And yes, it took a while for Poise to find his feet, but we definitely are not laggards. We have crested the storm, and we're doing very well. A lot of our business is now online, virtual, or it is on the client's premises, where they can control the environment. But Poise has not done too badly. We've trained over 3 million, 3 million, not 30 million, please. 3 million corporate citizens. Towards youth development and nation building, we've trained over 22,000 young people here in Poise since 2012, and since Poise started, we've trained about 3 million. We've done about 490 projects.
Wow,
right
massive.
Here in Nigeria. Yes, Poise, is not a main brand. We are almost like a household name, and we are synonymous with etiquette, with poise, with decorum. Yes, we are synonymous with that. So if you're looking for anything like that, the first port of call is Poise.
All right, so viewers, we're going to take a short break, and then just sit back and relax, because we're going to dive into the very interesting part of this. I mean, Mrs. MAVI is also going to tell us about her turning point when she knew that she had broken even, so we need to also hear that story from her, and also jump into the parts that interest we youth. We need to know what she does for fun. We need to know how she spends her leisure time and all that. So guys, sit back, relax, and we'll be right back.
Next on Meet the CEO Africa.
So, Ma, I'm going to ask this interesting question. So, when were you able to break even?
I took a step of faith, and I saw somebody online. I Googled someone in South Africa.